Hi, I'm your host Vasco Duarte. Welcome to the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, where we share tips and tricks from Scrum Masters around the world. Every day, we bring you inspiring answers to important questions that all Scrum Masters face day after day. Hello everybody, welcome to our Team Tuesday this week with Miguel Moro. Hey Miguel, welcome back.
Hi, welcome. Happy to be here again.
Absolutely. And of course, everybody's welcome.
Okay.
So, Miguel, Tuesdays are Team Tuesdays, of course, and we'll talk about teams quite a lot in a minute. But first, we want to hear from you. In your career as a Scrum Master, what was the book that most influenced you?
Well, it was some time ago, but one of the books that most influenced me was The Principles of Product Development Flow. When you read the Scrum Guide, or when you read about agility or this type of ideas, you read the theory. But here in this book, I like it a lot because it tells you how to, for example, how to manage queues when you have queues or bottlenecks in a process. It's very interesting how you can be aware of you are starting to have bottlenecks, how to reduce the variability, give examples about reducing batch size, limiting the work in progress, also talks about the past feedback. And for me, it was very good to have also some concrete ways of handling this with the teams. I think it was this.
Yeah, absolutely. And a great recommendation indeed, Principles of Product Development Flow, or Second Generation Lean Product Development by Don Reinertsen. And we'll put the link on the show notes so that people can easily go and check it out. Miguel, now we turn our attention to the teams and how sometimes they become their own worst enemies. And they do that for many reasons and in many different ways, of course. So we want to hear your story of how that happened. So walk us through the story of a team. Tell us a little bit about the context so that we know, size of the project, the team, was it one team or multiple teams? And then walk us through the steps, how those small behaviors or patterns started to degenerate and ultimately cause problems for the team.
Well, I think that for me, in my experience, the worst behavior in a team is when the different team members start to compete between them.
Tell us how. So how did that happen? How did you see in the team that you were working?
Yeah, I just realized that things were not working well. I couldn't say why or what was exactly happening, but I started to observe and I saw that different team members were like trying to be the one that take the decision, or they try to compete proposing different solutions, and they didn't get up to an agreement. Each of them wanted to be the owners of the idea. So it was like I understood that what was happening was that they were, as I told, like competing between themselves instead of collaborating.
What do you think was driving that? So you saw that perhaps arguments that looked like they wanted to be the ones with the idea, right? Like they were trying to get their ideas and their thoughts to be the ones that kind of dominated in the team. What in that particular team, what was pushing these team members to behave that way?
Yeah, well, at the end, I saw it was very clear. The company was growing a lot in that times, and there were new positions being created continuously, and each of these people wanted to be like promoted to tech lead or to some higher position. So they were trying to be the most important people in the squad and to take the leadership. So. That was
ironically showing that they were not ready to be leaders, right?
Well, they were thinking they were ready to be leaders in the technical knowledge, but it is not only that. As you know, to be a leader is not just have technical knowledge. In fact, it's not, I think, the most important thing. So I had to work with the team to make them aware how it was most important that we succeed as a team than that they succeed as an individual in the technical part.
How did you do that? Because that's not necessarily easy, especially if they want to be promoted, no?
No, it was not easy to me. Sometime at the end is to make them to collaborate and to look, for example, when there were different proposals or ideas from different people, to share proposals with the team, different proposals, evaluate what do you think we can do better, which is more innovative, where we can learn more, what do you think the customer will appreciate or will be a better solution for them, if how we can escalate better one or the other. At the end, I try to make the team to make decisions about how to do it. But first, of course, listening different proposals. Even in some cases, we did some tests of having a first proof of concept with the different proposals. Try to make a quick skeleton of each of them, and then over a real view to decide which one will be better in.
So kind of you try to formalize the decision process so that it included everybody in the team. Is that what you're saying?
Of course, you need that because you need that everyone proposes ideas and everyone collaborates and takes initiatives. So it was good because at the end, sometimes the idea was taken from one person, sometimes it was taken from another. So for me, it will have been a bit frustrating if always the ideas from the same person will have come to the end solution. But it was good, and it was demonstrated that everyone can participate and can propose things, and everyone is valid to propose ideas. So it took some time, but it worked very well to force the team.
What were some of the concrete steps you took to help the team understand that everyone could propose ideas and that the idea should be discussed on their merits, not based on who gave the idea? Like how did you? What were maybe one or two concrete things you did to start that process?
Yes, well, I started by having when we had the proposal from the product owner, any proposal for any new feature or to improve something. I didn't let the team to go on without at least having three ideas different to start working. So I forced them to have different initial ideas, and then over each of the ideas, we had a bit of decision. In cases that it was not clear, we did a small proof of concept of different ones, and we saw which one was or more innovative or more feasible from the technical point of view, or depending on what we wanted to do with that feature, we were facing one solution or other. So I think at that point, we needed to force the team to have different ideas, because many times it happens that you have a proposal from the product owner and the team very quickly gives a quick solution, but don't sit and think in alternatives. They just take the first quick solution, and sometimes you need to sit, think a bit, forced to think different ways of solving. And when you force yourself to think, many times you find a different solution than the obvious one, and sometimes it's
and actually that's one of the aspects of team decision making, is the different ideas when put together, they build up to become better than the original ideas, and that's really one of the superpowers of teams working well together.
Yeah. It's because sometimes people just don't say anything because there is a supposed leader that gives the solution. But you need that people think and give their ideas, and to let them know that there is not not a bad idea. You can propose whatever you think, and we will see the way of doing it. So
absolutely, and that's how we build great teams.
Yeah,
Thank you for sharing that, Miguel.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Tuesday is Team Day here on the Scrum Master Toolbox podcast, but tomorrow we talk about something that goes beyond the work we do with the teams. We will talk about how to lead change and what our guests have learned from leading and participating in change programs during their career. See you tomorrow. We really hope you liked our show. And if you did, why not rate this podcast on Stitcher or iTunes? Share this podcast and let other Scrum Masters know about this valuable resource for their work. Remember that sharing is caring.